at just about 18 minutes towards midday this Friday morning. The breaking news at this hour is that the Zambian government, the High Court has found, does have or is entitled to repatriate the body of former President Edgar Lungu to his home country for burial. It's a story we're watching very closely as soon as the reaction comes in, and in fact it may very well come through from the High Court itself at any moment now. We'll take you there live, especially given the fact that so much has been said so far. And as I say that, I see there is some kind of preparation for the very first response from inside the courtroom, where the family itself may be able to give reaction to what they've just learned literally seconds ago, with the High Court giving this order. Let's listen in.
The court here at Pretoria, South Africa, has just handed down the judgment and the order in favor of what the government of the Republic of Zambia had requested the government. As I indicated earlier in my statements to the media and the international community and our national community, it's not winning. You don't win over a burial. It's just what makes good sense, that the president or former president of the Republic of Zambia should be buried in his own country, the country where he was president. He was not, I mean, if you go to Zambia, they call him father of the nation. When you are a father of the nation, you can't restrict yourself to your immediate family, to your small. So the man belongs to the nation, and so it's going to be buried in Zambia. And we appreciate the judgment that has been given by the court. It's a sound judgment. If the family is not happy, they may appeal, but my appeal is that this is a man who was president of Zambia. And I think it's a learning curve that those who intend to become presidents of countries, they must know that they are not restricted to their families, immediate families, but they are spread over to the nation. And so we want to thank the court for having given the judgment. This is how far the government can go. It's to do its responsibility, the responsibility which is given to the government. And we have done what the public wanted us to do. For my office as Attorney General, my job ends here unless there's an appeal. The Secretary to the Cabinet will take over the process. I thank you, the media, even the way you have been reporting the proceedings.
Mr. Attorney General, you can obviously, the family is very emotional.
Yeah.
You know, is there any word of condolences or anything that you can share?
We continue to mourn with them. It's normal that people can be emotional when this happens, but I think it calls for people to cool down. When they are mourning, they will continue mourning like that until when we bury. And that's why it's important that we bury so that we bring the issue to closure.
There you have it from
Mr.
Thank you so much.
One last second. We know that there was a request over the current president. Are there logistical arrangements to ensure that he's not near those remains? Or are you going to continue as you planned with the burial and the president participating quite fully in it?
Yeah, as I've indicated, my job in this assignment ends here. The Secretary to the Cabinet will take over, and the family will continue to be consulted. We will not proceed without consulting the family.
Yes.
And so that's what will happen.
How soon can we expect for this state funeral to be taking place?
Again, it's for the Secretary to the Cabinet. I'm told he has been listening and following what has been going on, the proceedings, even the judgment, and then he will take over and do the needful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, there you have it, Ayanda. The court here unanimously ruling in favor of the Zambian government, reaching the conclusion that the public rights of the Zambian government, as well as the nation and its people as a whole, must outweigh the personal wishes of the Lungu family. So you will expect that the Lungu family is expected to surrender the remains of the former President Edgar Lungu to the Zambian government so that they can repatriate him back to Lusaka, Zambia for that state funeral and burial. We've seen that the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria has unanimously ruled that they would deal with this matter in terms of the Zambian law, not the South African law. And upon doing that analysis, they have reached a conclusion that those remains of the former president belong back in Zambia. Those personal wishes of the family cannot override the public interest of Zambia and its people. So you can expect that in the next few days or weeks that you will see that process will be underway for those remains of the former president to make it back to Lusaka, Zambia for that state funeral and burial. You saw that it was quite emotional for the family, who haven't quite responded well to this unanimous judgment by the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. But for the Zambian nation and its people, this matter has been finally put to rest, and the former president will be heading back to his homeland for a dignified funeral in the form of a state funeral and a burial. Over to you in studio.
All right, Kenny Mapanga is part of our team watching that story. And Kenny, if you are able to hear me, I'm hoping to squeeze in another question there about where this leaves the current president, Hakainde Hichilema, who we know has been, a long-standing political rival of Edgar Lungu. And in fact, that's where even the family's own let's call it opinion comes from, right? It's all linked to the kind of relationship that the former president had with the incumbent. Has the court made any kind of pronouncement about whether or not he's allowed anywhere near that funeral?
Absolutely not. And what the court does state is that the genesis of this matter tells us that the remains of the former president was heading over to Zambia, and that the repatriation was stopped abruptly when the family learned that his remains would be received by the current president, that is Hakainde Hichilema. We've seen that the court has not entertained this issue of the possible differences between the Lungu family and the current president, but rather has dealt with this matter in terms of the public interests of the Republic of Zambia and its people. So it hasn't entertained that debate. When we ask the Attorney General now if it is expected that there will be some condition for the current president, and we can see from his answer that that is not the case, because that is not what the court has determined. What they have done is an analysis over the rights of the family, that is the Lungu family, and the Zambian nation and its people, and it has concluded that the former cannot override the latter. And it is against that backdrop that the former president's remains will be heading back to Lusaka, Zambia, to be laid to rest.
Gosh, I stand to be corrected, but I don't think we've ever dealt with a case like this. It'll be interesting to hear what many people who are watching would have to say about this particular outcome. Kenny Mapanga is live to us from the High Court in Pretoria. Our breaking news story there, once again, if you've just missed it, the court finding that, in fact, the Zambian government does have or is entitled to the remains of former President Edgar Lungu, and has ordered that his remains be repatriated to his home country. It's a story we'll certainly keep watching for you throughout the course of the coming days.